This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Well, take a look at this site, Wolf Creek Golf Club. It is for real. Frank, I've never seen anything quite like this as we get set to call it for EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner behind the mic, and we welcome you to this site that opened up back in 2000. It's a par of 72 with some elevated tees. Frank, what does the player need to look out for here at Wolf Creek?
Well, everything. Try and keep your eyes on the fairways, though. That's the only green thing apart on this magnificent venue. It's hard to imagine you can play golf in this sort of area, but it's so well defined. Obviously, anything green is golf course, and left or right of that, you're going to find yourself in some problems. But really trying to judge all the elevation changes. Ball's going to fly a little bit further in the thin air, but it's amazing on the eye.
Strong winds continue to be a factor. Frank, I know you've played all over the world. How much did you enjoy the challenge of playing into a stiff breeze?
Well, it was a chance to separate yourself from the rest of the field, Rich. Just like these conditions we're seeing right now. You've really got to be smart. Pick the right shot. If you get too aggressive on a day like today, you'll pay a far more severe price than normal.
Club selection obviously is crucial.
Oh, it's imperative today.
Take an extra club or two, choke down?
Very much so.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Will settle. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Getting set now over the putt. One under early in the round. From about 8 feet. Good putt, and now 1 under par. Ready to tee off here at the second hole. Quite a view from up here, Frank.
Once again, big elevated tee. It's hard to imagine you have a tee that high up, but that'll shorten that 445 yards. Obviously, it's a dog leg left. You've got to be careful if you hit driver and 2 straight, because then you can run out. A nice tee shot in the middle there, and then you get a relatively straight shot into this sort of par 4 green, obviously going a little bit back up the hill. And once again, a little bit like that opening hole, sort of different tiers on that green. Try and make sure that you're on the right one. I tell you, there's long and long, and that with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
Oh, he's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. Look, everybody wants to post a good low number, but a good score at Wolf Creek is really relative because this is a true desert canyon golf course. It is rated as the 3rd hardest golf course in America by the United States Golf Association.
Yeah, that's the slope rating that you're referring to. It has a slope rating of 154, which sort of measures in all the undulations. So, needless to say, you don't get too many flat putts, or actually, relatively flat shots either here at Wolf Creek, but the thing about it, the golf course isn't overly long, and it sort of fits in with the terrain. How could you come to the desert with all these changes in elevation and expect to play flat golf?
Oh my gosh, that hurts. Looks like he just misread that. Settles in over the putt. Nice par to remain 1 under. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So 2 under early on. Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Well, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here.
Played that one on the commercial side, as they say in the professional game, inside 30 feet.
Yeah, 27 feet to be precise, but to make it from there, that's asking for a bit.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Has this putt for birdie. On the way. Oh, he's going to love it.
How far was that? That was miles away.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Shouldn't be a problem here. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And so just getting started, even par so far. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down there. Just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Either misjudged the win or simply just pulled the wrong club, Frank.
Going to take some skill now.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. And setting up here in the rough. These putts keep the round together. Nice par to remain 3 under. Just a couple of feet. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. We're in the desert, partner. I need water.
You're going to get it here, Rich. Par 5 second hole's got a nice stream that runs down the left side, as well as cutting the fairway. There's a crop of some 3 bunkers down that right side. I want to avoid that, but, Rich, this hole isn't too long. Under 500 yards, not even going to play that long, so very reachable.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Frank, what do we have with this approach here to the par 5?
A good tee shot across that stream there is going to leave an uphill second shot, and this green is raised in the front, very narrow between those 2 bunkers. It's going to take something rather special to carry the ball up high enough and land it soft enough to keep it on this par 5 and 2.
Now, my yardage book says 145 yards to the hole. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself that it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes once again are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play, or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go, we all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole too, and a fun hole to play.
Frank, no reason here to think we're going to see anything other than another good shot.
Yeah, in a great flow, and golf like this looks easy.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Second shot here at the 6th at Wolf Creek. What do you think of this approach, Frank?
Well, it's decision time, really, Rich. Do you want to try and fly it onto this green, or do you try and run it in between those two bunkers? Personally, I think you've got to fly it because you've got a backstop behind this green. All the mountains that sort of protect the back of this green. If anything, it should run back on.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Good putt and a good move. Now to 4 under. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop-off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole.
Long drive, but a bad lie.
Wicked.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This is an 11-foot putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Frank, I thought that was in. You like that right there, Frank?
Beautiful lag putt. Great pace. Now it's at sneaky distance.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
That's good work. That's a good par right there. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, here.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Headed for the bunker. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. I'm thinking this is about 110 yards, Frank. That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, I thought he made that. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily problem here. Wow, I didn't expect that. This would give him the par. How about 5 under par for the day? He's made it. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. Good lie in the fairway. A good chance to make something happen here. Well, he has not been bothered by these strong winds today. It has really been gusty, but you wouldn't know it watching this guy on TV. He in the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Frank, this is a pretty challenging approach shot here at the 10th.
It's certainly one of the longest second shots you'll play into a par 4 at Wolf Creek. You're coming off a lie with a ball slightly above your feet, so that's a hook shot. And you're really hitting a hook shot into a green that's designed to hit a cut. It makes this shot a little bit more challenging, so just be a little careful here.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Getting set now over the putt. Starting to put something special together. 6 under par. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself that. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Good-looking shot right here. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. He'll take par and move on. Could use this, a putt for par. Good round going at 6 under. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that. This par 5 can be reachable in 2. There's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah. In the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par. Rich, with a lie like that in the rough, you're going to get too much grass between club face and ball. You're going to have to adjust for that and at least take a club or 2 more. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5. Settles in over the putt. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now 8 under on the day. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line Well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though, and you're not quite sure on the outcome.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
GPS on a putt this long. Looks like he just misread that.
Really? This is an awkward length.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Locked in on the read and the speed. You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count. And that is 9 under for the day. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards. And what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot. Well, that's That's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, you just can't make up ground if you don't make putts. Drop shot here at the 14th hole. And getting ready for the putt. Now -10 for the round. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Well, too bad, he gives one back. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers, because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look from 135 yards out. This won't hurt him. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Could it be?
Never looked like missing.
Well, Frank, it always seems to come down to this, your work on the putting green.
And there's so many things to consider, but first and foremost, speed. If you hit a putt firm, it's going to take less break. You hit it soft, it's going to take more break.
Under par on the day. Now to the 16th hole as we get set for the finishing stretch. And Frank, what's the best way to play this relatively short par 4?
Somehow you've got to straighten the hole up in your mind's eye, Rich. Just look all the way across that canyon and look like the hole was built straight, because really that's the way it should be played. If you start looking left and turning it into a dogleg, then all of a sudden bad things can happen. So look straight at the green. That's your line. Just try and bisect those two fairway bunkers.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350 plus yards. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Always like to get the double figures under par. 10 under already. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit. Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
You can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Just a sensational shot, and he will have that for an eagle.
Amazing. Just like that, pick up 2 on the field.
Now the third shot at the par 5. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Well, they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. You want to seize it if you get the chance. This is a good one here. Just sensational golf, and he finishes it off with an eagle. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250 yard mark, and of course you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or a 3 wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse.
I mean, that is a sight to behold. What a spectacular shot we just saw on the par 4 with a drive in 1.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. In the water. Too bad. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. These putts keep the round together. "11 under on the day. That one drops. What a birdie. What a day of golf we saw out there today, Frank. It was a lot of fun.
Wolf Creek is just an amazing experience, Rich. To imagine that they could build a golf course like this, and let alone people could play it and have fun. Every shot's a different experience out there. I doubt you'd ever get another golfing experience anywhere in the world that would come close to this.
Nothing like Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. So for my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, we say so long from Wolf Creek Golf Club. Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, and we'll be calling all the action for today's event. Frank, you and I have covered golf around the world for a pretty long time, and I've never seen anything like this. This is just an absolute mind-blower.
It is. The design team of EA Sports have come up with something that is truly a pleasure. You're going to see steam engines going across the canyons. You're going to be hitting shots that you never thought were imaginable on a golf course. This golf course, 8,600 yards. I know we're at altitude, but if you look down, you're going to see that Colorado River. Now, if you're scared of heights, well, then certainly don't look that way. You can go around, over canyons, you can bounce it off rock faces. This is up to you on how you want to play it. Whoops, Rich, this is way offline.
Oh, yeah. Get down. Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf. That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Now on his third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break, really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him. Now, this is heading off the golf course.
Oh, OB. Ouch.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Setting up for an approach shot here. This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. This, the second shot here at the par 4. This is a good-looking shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Been a little bit of a fight so far, 3 over par. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. So, Frank, our first par 3, it's the second hole, and that green is kind of lonely out there.
Plus, it's built up a little. As you can see, nearly a perfect circle. Hole is 285 yards, and the 2 bunkers in front, really, they're not that bad. They'll save a shot, really, from sort of bouncing elsewhere. But really, anything on the green you'd take right now.
285 yards, that's a long poke, but again, it is downhill, 36 feet downhill to that green. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. He has a 12-footer here. Oh, I thought he had that. He'd settle for par here. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
-1 for the day. Just a little tap in here. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey.
Now, this is a daunting tee shot. Long par 5. You can see the arches. Somehow keep the ball either low enough. If you hit one up a little too high, then you will catch the top of the arch.
You want to take it right under it, Frank? This is a really cool-looking tee shot, isn't it?
It's very intimidating, and you can hit it either left or right of the rock pile up ahead. Either way will work, but if you hit it down the right, then you're going to have to cut that second shot. This is like hitting down a railway line.
Hard left doesn't look that good to me. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Now the second shot to the par 5. And setting up here in the rough.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Ricky Fowler playing his fourth shot. On the green, but still a tough putt coming up. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Oh my gosh, that hurts. Well, that's disappointing. That's a drop shot at number 3. From about 8 feet. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And he makes it for a bogey here. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Even par early on. Here at the fourth, 345-yard par 4 with that extreme dogleg.
As the crow flies, Rich, it's probably only 260, 270 yards to the middle of the green. This is a really sharp 90-degree dogleg. So if you play it down the left side, that's virtually the distance you need to get to the green. 250, middle of fairway down that left side, and then as you can see, it shapes sharply back to the green. Well, you could be a little ambitious and try and flash it over that rock boulder, but really the luck of the bounce across that canyon area, you don't know what's going to happen. Logic would say hit it down the left, but this game not always logical.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
He'll need to be strong with this. Solid play, heart of the green. Fowler attempting this for par.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. So with that, 1 over par. So they'll tap in. That's a bogey. To the par 3 fifth hole, and wow, look at this drop, Frank. Not only do you need the right stick, but you probably need a parachute just to get from the tee to the green here.
You're right, Rich. It's almost like jumping off a high diving board. It is 240 feet from the tee and then downwards to that green, which is some 228 yards away. That is some free fall. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Headed for the bunker? Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Now, a bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
7 over for the day. Just a couple of feet. Back to par for the round. Here at the par 5 6th, 625 yards.
You have to take a bite out of the rocky road here, up and over the railway line, and somehow underneath the arches. From there, you're heading, well, to an island green, you might say. But there's no water. It's just surrounded by rock and canyon.
Beautiful looking shot right here.
There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start. Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. And he's set up for his third shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Settles in over the putt. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Has the putt, and now at -1. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Now with the par 4 7th hole, this an unusual fairway to say the least, Frank.
It's special. The reason why it's special, because it's shaped like an S. If you play it as a straightaway hole, then you're going to have to stay before that rock crop and then be far enough back that you can at least get over it in a direct line to the green. Otherwise, you're going to need a bit of a cut off the tee, and that would be fairly brave. Easy way, because the hole's not too long, would be to lay it up. More difficult, more enjoyable way is to cut it to the right and try and find a gap.
Frank, it really is an ingenious design here. Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Second shot now for Rickie Fowler. That's a good shot right there, about 15 feet away, and a good look at birdie. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, he has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
And setting up here in the rough. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Could use this. A putt for par. This golf course has been demanding today, and the scores reflect that. 7 over par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now to the very long par 5 8th here in the canyon. Just a little 743-yard hole, Frank.
Yeah, that's a first for the books. Remember the US Open at Olympic? When they got a par 5 to stretch to 700 yards. Now, well, easily exceeds that number.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's got 5 minutes to find it.
And this is looking really good. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Fowler for birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, that looked good to me. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Has his par. Ready to round out the front side on this par 4. It is another steep drop here, Frank.
And this hole is enormous. We've blown past the days of 500-yard par 4s, and we're into the high 600-yard markers. And that green all the way down the end just sits out on the top, on the edge of a cliff face. So a good drive essential here, and, well, close your eyes on that second shot. There's plenty of peril in front of you. The rock on the left, there's that bunker that comes down on the left side as well. And as that hole starts to narrow up, but the second shot here has to be one of the hardest on the golf course.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Oh, come on, that's not even human. That's ridiculous. That is 350 plus yards.
Second shot.
The second shot now to the par 4.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Lost that one, out of bounds, and that is a costly stroke. Starting to stack up now in the wrong way. This is the 6th shot on this hole after going OB. He'll need to be strong with this. And he's made it onto the green now. Locked in on the read and the speed. Good stroke right there. That's a par and stays at 1 under. So we're ready to start the back nine. Rich Lerner for EA Sports, along with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us a little bit about the 10th.
Yet another tight tee shot, Rich. This time the canyon is on the right side, though. And you can see that left side well protected by that wall of rock. Not an overly long par 4, but once again, you've got a threaded drive down there to have any chance to really see this flag.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Second shot, good look at the green. Good swing, good shot yet again. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Now playing the second here at the par 4. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants a do-over there.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just a couple of feet. Good effort and good par putt. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Here at the 11th hole, and Frank, once again, we hear phrases like rock wall, canyon, not your ordinary golf course, is it?
That's right. This par 4 bends a little to the right. Actually, a big advantage for a longer hitter here, because if you can hit it far enough down here, you will see the green. Anything short of that, and it's going to be a blind second.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. A good 200 yards away from a good lie in the fairway. Frank, way offline all day long.
Yeah, this is a head scratcher, really. We've seen him play before. Normally much better than this. This is abnormal, that's for sure.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's been the story of the day, hacking it out of the rough.
Going to have grass stains on the shoes come the end.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Makes the putt and moving in the right direction, 2 under par. Has this one for par. Been a rocky round. Now to the par 3 12th, Frank, and obviously there is trouble yet again on the left, and if you miss it to the right, you're not going to be pitching off of a soft piece of grass.
No, you're not. Fortunately, though, this is the shortest of the 4 par 3s here at the golf course. Left long, in trouble. Fortunately, that bunker might save a few shots from going to what would be an even bigger problem. But at that yardage, there is a chance to make 2. It's not a big target, but anything on the putting surface really is going to give you a birdie opportunity.
Good looking shot right here. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling too, don't you?
That is a solid par putt. Nudge this one home, finish it up. That's 2 under par, playing well. Frank, think about it as we look at the 13th hole here. How many par 5s have you described in the following way? Canyon to the left, and then you have to hit a shot over the water to the green. Not many.
No, waterfalls left and right. And of course, that lovely oasis is created by the mountains, especially in the wintertime when it snows over. You see this fairway starts to really narrow up, so if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you've really got to think carefully about that lap, exactly where you want to place that ball. But if you can reach this par 5 and 2, I don't. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough.
Yeah, it was a little over-ambitious.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Frank, the beauty of the game, the changing conditions. You've played it all over the world, and you don't play it inside a dome, do you?
Yeah, anybody can play on a fine, still day, but what separates the good from the great is actually days like today. That's when that little extra attention to detail, the better strike, the better swing, is certainly going to pay dividends.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really, the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Well, this one's tracking. This one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Shouldn't be a problem here. This for him would be one drop shot. Just a tap in to finish the hole. So with that, the score is now at even par. So back-to-back par fives, 14, Frank. I've heard you describe holes before. Have a go at this one. I'm curious. Go ahead.
Well, I never thought I'd be talking about a par 5 that can stretch over 900 yards, but this is it. Fortunately, we're at altitude. Fortunately, this hole plays a little downhill. That's about it. The rest is all up to you, because it's going to take 3 absolutely beautiful shots to reach this par 5 into a sliver of the fairway all the way across the side of the mountain. And somehow, not only do you have to hit it once, but you've got to hit it twice just to have a third shot at this par 5 green.
I mean, that is a monster hit right there. He carried that more than 350 yards. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder. There's out of bounds over there.
He needs to get lucky. Well, how about that? The ball stayed inbounds after all, Frank.
Yeah, that was a real head scratcher. A couple more yards and, well, would have paid a severe penalty.
He'll need to be strong with this. Settles in over the putt. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Needs this for par. Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Down to the par 4 15th. Sharp dogleg to the right.
Yeah, sort of wrap around halt. Ideally, aim left. This time we're heading away from the canyon. So it should be a little easier to breathe. But still, another good drive is needed here. Thread it down through there to at least have a look at that green for the second shot. Well protected. This green at a 45-degree angle to the right. Relatively flat hole. But it does serpent its way all the way down till you get to the green.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Fowler getting ready for his third. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Here's Ricky Fowler for par. Oh my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh yeah, you'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, I thought he had that. Struggling a bit with the flat stick and a drop shot here at the 15th hole. Just a couple of feet. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 13th hole seems to have knocked him off his game. He is not playing well. So, Frank, that's a bogey, and I can't help but think the double bogey he made earlier just flat out took the wind right out of his sails.
Yeah, he still hasn't recovered from that, Rich. You can see that in the demeanor, and it's still shaky.
Little shaky behind the wheel today, Frank.
Oh, shaky? Maybe put both hands on it?
Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today. What a great shot. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
99 yards away. Playing in the winds can really be demoralizing. You might hit a shot perfectly and airmail it by 20 yards.
Yeah, well, just because the first part of the round hasn't gone your way, you should still have a feel of the conditions by now.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And he's putting for bogey now. Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Been a rocky round. So they'll tap in. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Just 2 holes left. The 17th is a par 4. Frank, looks like a bowling alley, not a golf course.
Yeah, it is, but you could easily get a strike down here, that's for sure, because you'll knock over more than pins. Anything left or right is going to hit one of those mountains on either side, but hopefully will bounce all the way back to the fairway. So it might play a little wider than what first your eye sees. Second shot's going to play slightly uphill again to a green that pitches slightly back towards you, plus 2 different tiers.
That is a fantastic long shot.
There's no way he could hit that without a tail breeze. Surely that breeze had to help there.
This is the second shot at the par 4.
Rich, too much grass between ball and club face.
Paid a price with the tee ball landing in the rough. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
He's hit the green, but his work is by no means finished. A difficult putt coming up from about 25 feet.
Oh, what a bonus.
That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch and nerve. had it all, and he has the bottom of the barrel. And now to the finishing hole.
A monster par 3.
Hello, where are we, Frank? Where's the green?
It is down there, that's for sure. Bunkers short and behind. They'll really help you if you misjudge your club selection. Apart from that, there is a green down there. Anything other than that will be a trouble. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Fowler attempting this for par. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Just 5 feet left. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. It was entertaining, that's for sure. I mean, between the views, the spectacular holes, and some of the great golf we saw, Frank, I really enjoyed it. It was special, that's for sure. For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from the heart of the Grand Canyon.